out there, everybody. Gonna do a little bit of Robin Williams for you. Welcome to the broadcast booth, everybody. I am Monty Anderson, your host here at 412 Productions, the art of Monty Anderson, and I've got to flip this motherfucker around. That's one thing I wish they would change. Get rid of that mirror effect bullshit. All right. Welcome to the broadcast booth, everybody. I am Monty Anderson, your host here at 412 Productions, the art of Monty Anderson, and hopefully you all survived. Those of you popping on obviously did. The 4th of July celebration, festivities, shenanigans, whatever you got yourselves into. Hopefully you didn't let that rocket hit your rectum and you didn't have to go to the ER or anything like that. I did see where a mother doing fireworks prior to the 4th of July lost a couple fingers because of an accident that happened. Haven't seen any more reports yet, but I'm sure we will as the day goes along. Somebody was showing a dumpster fire back in, or something, an explosion on a fireworks display out in the middle of a river somewhere that went up in flames back in 2012. Why they were showing that from 2012, I don't know. What's up, Liz? How's it going? Welcome to the show, our favorite MP out there, Miss Incognito, Miss Secretive of all secretives, the operatives of all operatives. No, I'm just kidding. All right. Man, I am fucking tired as all get out. I also got my ears lowered a little bit. So, that's you. I know it is. I know it is. We might have some other regulars show up. I don't know. We'll see. You're becoming a fast regular now, which is awesome. Get that perspective from someone still in the military side over there. And then just life in general stuff. She did send me a comprehensive list of some cool movies to watch. I'm looking forward to that. I haven't got into those yet. Now, some of the ones that were on that list I have seen, especially the ones out of a certain category, if you will. So I'm looking forward to seeing that. I've been watching a bunch of stuff that I don't even have to be, brain alive for, if you will, while I throw my artwork down and slinging ink and all that good stuff and just moving forward. Now, within the past few X amount of days, I've shipped out a lot of action figures that I've sold as well. Oh, that's what I was going to do. I'm going to have to run and get those. Well, poop stick. I didn't bring them with me. I was going to talk about some of the clarity on the crystals from the last crystal dig that we went on, but I didn't bring them in here. I might have to get those here in a little bit. But we are going to talk about paintings and artwork and things like that, because I did get a new commission in off of my little antics that I had. Yeah, we go crystal mining on a regular basis. We have a few spots here in Arkansas, a lot actually, but there's only a few good ones because, like, one of them, the Wagner mine, it's only you get a 2 hour limit on it. Don't like that. But the other ones that we've been to, Avant and Ron Coleman, you can dig all day long. Ron Coleman just isn't as good for us. These ones came from Ron Coleman, but I just pulled them out yesterday and washed them off, and I found one that was real. I'm gonna have to go get these because I found a really really cool one though, a really really cool one that I had never seen before. Because it's got its own little prism on the inside of the crystal, and it's just like this is the first crystal we've seen that, short of just holding it up to a light source and it shining the prism on the ground. Oh, that's cool. Like here we've got the Ozark Mountains and the Ouachita Mountains and things like that have a ton of crystal, especially the clear crystal quartz. It's got the smoky quartz. It's got your yellows and you can find some pinks in there as well. Um, but generally, you're finding the clear crystal quartz, the crystal clear stuff that looks like glass. And they've got tons of mines here in Arkansas, especially up in the Mount Ida area. Um, where else? Jesseville, um, a few other places up that direction. Um, it's about a 2 hour trip for us to get there, but it's worth it. It's all most of the time you're in the wooded area, so who doesn't though? It's just like fishing. Who doesn't want to use a little TNT to go fishing with, even though it's illegal? But so I'm not condoning that, TikTok. So don't throw up your little restriction on that. But no, you're basically just what they do at these places. Now you can like at Avant, I get into the crystal walls because you can find a good vein running up through the walls, and I'll crack into those. Uh, but for the most part, what they do is they bring in fresh mounds of dirt from a quarry further in, and basically you can do a lot of surface finds. That means just walking around looking and finding the crystals right on top. Have I found any geodes? Not yet. But well, here's my geodes. They are the whole boulder that I bring back. Now, when we go to Avant, I literally fill the bed of the pickup with crystals. I mean, I've got chunks of crystal that are like this. You know, they have a nice little shelf on the crystal, the rock, and all that good stuff. So we bring back out literal boulders from Avant. Whereas when you go to Ron Coleman, yeah, there's some good ones, but it's just not as good. We haven't found anything good. And the only reason we went back this last time is because we started seeing people pulling out honking big crystal pieces, you know, parts of spears and things like that. I mean, pieces that are like this big, about this big around, and it's got nice little points on it and things like that. Every time we go, we find some decent stuff. I can't lie. I can't say that we don't find anything good because I've got it sitting on the counter in there. But we just don't find the quantity that we do at Avant. And so it makes it a little difficult to keep going back to a place when you keep getting disappointed. Sapphires, rubies, emeralds, no. We haven't found any of that type of stuff, but I am gonna go get these. Bear with me for just 1 minute. If Liz, talk to everybody, let them know what you're into, and I'll read some of that stuff here in a minute. All right, guys, sorry about that. I was supposed to have had this stuff in here already, but I did not. That's on me. That's my fault. I apologize. Hopefully, she told you some good stories. Well, that was short lived. See how it is in the military? You get in charge, you don't say anything, and now the privilege has been revoked. I told you to do something and you didn't did it. Ah, yeah, see, you were slow on the draw. All right, so I'm gonna start with some smaller pieces that are just super crystal clear. This one is a nice little point right here, but I know you can't really see the clarity of this tiny piece. I mean, again, a little piece like this, super clear. I mean, to me, I can see through and see myself right there. I know you guys can't see that, but this is just one of the little pieces right there. Another one right here. And what I look for as well, that one you can see a little bit better. All the nice little points and stuff like that that's going on with it. Now this one has got the nice little groove lines in it on the outside. And they say that there is memory spots imprinted on the outside of crystals, and I've seen them, not in the stuff that we've got so far, but I have technically seen it on some other people how they you put it in the sun. And Honor, welcome to the show. And you can see the little. It's like a. If you put a film over something and just kind of press it up against something, like on a window or something, and it just leaves the little outline. That's basically what it is. There's another crystal clear piece that you can see through. You can see me through right there. Oh, look, it's my nose. It's my nose. It's an Austin Powers moment. Does that make you Randy, baby? Right there. But that's a good little piece. Nice little crystal clear piece that can be turned into a necklace or earring or something like that. And then let's get into this one. Again, the point is broken off on this one, unfortunately. So that you can see that little tip right there that's split right there. Unfortunately, it's not a complete tip, but it's still a great little piece. But you see how it goes from the smoky to the crystal on the top. That's thousands upon hundreds of thousands of years of evolution right there. Right here, another great little piece. This one's almost smoky. It's more smoky than it is your crystal. You can see that darker color into it. I know it's very hard to see on this, but just looking at it here doesn't do it justice 100% at all. Well, let's see. This little point, again, it's got a nice little crystal clear portion to it up top, which you can see right there. But again, it doesn't have those memory film on it that I've seen in some pictures that other people have done. And then sometimes you get pieces like this that are busted off from the main spear, and you can see the nice little flat edge right there on it. If I can get it, you can see the flat edge right there on it. See, those are awesome. You should crack that sucker open. See what's inside, what colors are inside. We unfortunately we're not in a spot where we can find geodes regularly like that, which would be cool. Um, then I've got this little shelf piece. It's got all kinds of little points on it. Nice little point right here on the edge, right there. And then a bunch of other small little points and crystal clear spots on the inside. Then we get into this one. Nice little spear. Starting to go that crystal clear, but it's still a little smoky. So that's why it looks milky white. Um, TikTok, I'm not telling anybody to go anywhere, you fucktards. I hate your AI bullshit. Yeah, absolutely on this one right there. It goes from the rock base and then the little clumps all around it. Yeah, it's got some good qualities and good character to it. Those two I'm saving for later. So we'll jump into this one. Again, the point is a little damaged on it, but it's a nice crystal clear piece that you can see all the way through right there. Plus all the extras that is attached to it. Me too. actually, if I were to take you outside, which it's dark outside right now here, um, I have a whole crystal corner. That's how much we bring back from Avant normally. I've got crystals poured out on the ground to get washed by the rainwater. I've got a shelving system out there that's nothing but crystals, um, and stuff like this. You know, this one's got starting to get its crystal clear section again. It's milky white for the most part. So most people don't hunt for these. These are what they call pretty much your trash stuff right there. Just because people don't like to hunt for those, they like the stuff like this that's crystal clear. Got the little deformities. Like this is a crystal actually growing into the crystal. So if you look at it, it almost looks like a bullet going inside, and you can see where the impact crater is on the inside right there. So this one's a really unique piece. And then you get into this one, which is super crystal clear. Again, it's hard to tell there on the camera, but as I'm looking at it, I can see through and see you guys on the other side. But super crystal clear, got a good point to it. It is chipped at the top, right at the edge up there, but it is a nice little crystal clear piece. Then we start getting into some yellows, and I'm going to get into some other stuff here in a minute. This little shelf piece, you can just see all the crystals on it. All these are nice little points. There's some bigger ones on this edge over here. Yeah, that one is tiny. But all these are tiny, tiny little crystals that you get to see. Every little sparkling point that you're seeing is nothing but crystals. They sell stuff like this at the shops for like $50 to $75, you know, and we're just out there digging this stuff up, taking it off the rocks, you know. We are going to be selling these, so if you want some of these, Liz, let me know, and I'll cut you some prices, and you get a military discount as well. Then we get stuff like this that has bigger crystals on it, plus this is going into the more smoky side of the quartz. Yeah, Liz, since you're active duty military and any veterans get a military discount on artwork, so, and anything else we sell. But right here, this is a really cool piece. Lots of great color in it. Plus, you know, it's shelf worthy. You can just sit that. And yeah, it's got some yellows in it, and it's heading towards that smoky side of quartz. Now, if you want the true yellow, that's where this one is. This one has the yellow in it, the yellow tint. Very cool piece. Again, it was a shelf piece, so it came off the wall itself right here where it broke off. But yeah, this yellow one is really cool. Now, some of the better pieces that you find, like this right here. Nice crystal clear all the way through. It's like the Fortress of Solitude. I'm not a Superman fan, but this is, you know, this is a good piece. What people looking for right there. But you can see how crystal clear it is because you can see it reflecting back the Joker hair in it back on the top up there. How crystal clear it is all the way through and through. Nice big piece. Now this one is the really unique piece. Oh yeah, the spear shapes and all the different configurations that you get and never the same one twice is pretty awesome. Now this one is the one that's got the prism inside of it. It's hard. It's very hard to see just here, but this little piece right here actually creates a prism in a spot on the inside when it's out in the sun. Good morning, Tammy. Welcome to the show. But this one is a very unique piece. This one's going to be sticking with us 100% because we haven't seen one that reflects the prism on the inside when it's out in the sun. But this one has got a nice point to it on the top. It's got some great shape to it. Much appreciated for the gifts out there. Don't forget to like, share, and follow as you get here. We appreciate you guys 100%. But this is what we like to do. We go and dig this stuff up. Now, do we always come back with something cool? Most of the time. Do we come back with stuff like this on a regular basis? Not all the time. And again, that's the first time I've seen one like that over there, where it's got the prism on the inside and it reflects that prism in there. And it's just, the very first time we went crystal hunting, crystal mining, crystal digging, whatever you want to call it, because it's not like you're going into an actual mine and chiseling into the wall. Now, I chisel into the wall at Avant on a regular basis because some places don't allow you to take hammer and chisel and things like that, not even a rock hammer, because of flying debris and blah, blah, blah. Well, with, what is it, Avant, well, you have some fun at work. Don't drive all those boys crazy that you work with, especially showing them your videos. She's got some cool videos. If you don't follow Love there, go check her out. She's got a lot of cool stuff right there. Tammy there, XOXO. She has changed her name. But go check her out. Go follow her. Any blue crystals? No. Basically, what we find whenever we go to these mines so far has been either the milky white, just your regular quartz crystal. We find the crystal clear stuff that I was just showing you. We find the yellows. We find the smoky, and we find the pink quartz, which I don't have any examples of the pink here. But that's the ones that we normally find. Now, we have been to the diamond mine. We found some different mineral stones and things like that, but nothing cool. We didn't even find a diamond. And then, like a day later or 2 days later, after we were there, woman finds 3.2 carat diamond. Son of a bitch, because it was probably my hole that you were digging in too, and I dug to China literally. I was almost waist deep in a hole looking for diamonds. you know, and we come back with a small handful of rocks, of some mineral rocks basically. But no, we haven't found any blue ones at any places that we've been to so far. Um, I'm not even sure. Now, certain areas have certain stones when it comes to crystals and things like that, and sometimes those type of stones come from other countries. You know, um, I'm just looking to see because I've got all kinds of stones and things like that on display over here, like my Orca stone and I don't know the names of all of them, unfortunately. Yes, I'm a rock hound, but yes, I don't know the names of everything. Not without their little papers that comes with them. Now, some of them have been bought. Well, a lot of them have been bought that are on display over here, other than the crystals that we have found. Just like behind me on shelves and stuff like this right here, those are all crystals that we found at Avant and things like that. Like this little guy right here. This one was found at Avant. This was one of our first finds right there. It's got some deformities in this one, but it's really cool because you can see where the other crystals laid on it and on the side over here. And then some really cool shelf pieces that have all these Fortress of Solitudes coming off of it. All these crystals plus the tinier crystals all around it. But this is the stuff we find. So, you know, so one of our bigger pieces at Avant. It's got that crystal clear going through the middle of it. but the rest of it's that still smoky area. You can see where crystal was growing off this way, how it was sitting. But just tons of different finds is what we like to look for. We used to be, like I said, the first time we went crystal mining, or crystal, like I said, whichever way you want to call it, digging, mining, we picked up everything that we found, no matter what it was. If it had a good point to it, if it was, a portion, if it was this, if it was that. Now that we've gone X amount of times, and we do have a literal crystal corner out here, I'm going to say we probably have 200 or 300 specimens sitting outside right now. And like I said, we are going to be selling them pretty soon. And just got to get everything set up, properly. We're getting picky with what we bring back. Um, Now we still do keep the smaller stuff that we find because that's what people are looking for. They're looking for the stuff that is like this, that they can make jewelry out of and things like that, or even the smaller pieces that I showed you just a minute ago. Um, these three smaller pieces right here still make great jewelry. There's four pieces here, but like this one, how tiny it is. This one, how tiny it is, but it's got a great character to it. It's got that. You can see that cut on it right there. Completely different than the other. Then this one that's still got the point on it, but it is a little bit cracked up on the backside. And then this little portion piece of the tip. Just the tip. Just the tip, I promise. But people are very picky when they go because you see people just sit in one area the entire time. It's so small. It's cute. That's what she said. Absolutely. And you get, you see your hunters that are seasoned, and they sit in one spot and they don't move. Now we kind of travel, from spot to spot. Like at Avant, we'll do a whole surface dig right off the bat, which means we're walking the area first before we do anything else. And then we pick a spot and be like, okay, let's just dig here for a while. And if we don't find anything good, or if we find something good for it, and we'll dig it out quite a bit. And if we don't find anything for after, 30, 40 minutes, we'll move to a different spot. Now, some people say you've got to dig down, like 2, 3 feet before you actually start finding anything good. Well, that's not true at Avant. Now, Ron Coleman, absolutely. Um, but they bring in fresh mud, like we were there the last time, and they brought in the sloshing dump truck loads of just mud, you know. And people just started immediately as soon as the pile hit the ground. They just started digging through it like dinosaur dung in Jurassic Park. It's just like you guys have fun with that. I'm gonna continue doing what I'm doing. So, and like I said, we found some good stuff. I mean, we didn't bring back near the quantity that we would from Avant because we had one 5-gallon bucket that had crystals in it all the way to the top. And then we had a couple of bigger pieces. And when I say bigger pieces, I'm talking about chunks like this that I carved off of a boulder, to bring back. Just like this was carved off of a boulder right here. Because this is the rock face that it was sitting on. And I took my rock chisel and just took underneath it and tapped into it until it broke off. So there was bigger pieces and some other pieces that went with this and that are outside. But for the most part, if I could get the shelf off, that's what I did. I got underneath it, tapped into it until that shelf broke off, and then took what I could get from the actual boulder that it was sitting on. So, but yeah, it's fun. If you've never been to any kind of a mine where you can dig your own crystal or minerals or whatever, do it. We're planning on taking a trip up to the Salt Plains, maybe when it gets cooler, in Oklahoma, because you can find selenite. Is it no? It's not selenite. I'm trying to remember what the hell it's called, but I'm going to show you what it is because I've got it sitting right here. I want to go. So go. So this right here, it's found in the salt plains. And what it is you can see that hourglass inside of the sand inside the crystal right there. Boom, boom, boom. There we go. That's a better look. But this is what you can find in the salt plains. It's really milky. It's got that sandy texture inside. But all of them do pretty much the same thing. This one's more like a butterfly, if you will. To me, anyway. Let me get you the right side right there. And put the wings. Let's put the wings down. It looks like a butterfly wings. Right there. I can't remember what this is called. But it gets the sand trapped inside of the crystal itself. And so it creates these hourglass shapes in the crystal. And so that's a cool little spot that we want to go digging for up in the salt plains of Oklahoma, where I used to live. And I've been to the salt plains, but I wasn't into rock hunting then. I got into rock hunting probably much later in life. I was into comic books before I was into rock hunting. But you all need to go tell V8 Energy that the Peach Mango is their best flavor that they've got, and they need to be my sponsor. Because that's all I drink anymore besides water. Well, you should have one of these. Don't drink your Monsters. Don't drink your Red Bulls. Don't drink your Ghosts. Don't drink your Bangs. Don't drink all that bullshit. Drink one of these. Natural energy between your fruits and vegetables that are in here. Yes, I know there's some chemicals in here too, because that's how they make it taste great. Um, but for your natural stuff, it doesn't have that much caffeine in it. It's like 83 grams of protein of caffeine in there, as opposed to 2 to 500 milligrams of shots of caffeine and everything else. I know. When I was in Afghanistan, I drank the 32-ounce can, the BFC, I think is what it was called. The big fucking can is what it was stood for. And that's what I survived my missions on. A 16-hour, 18-hour missions was off of one of those or two of those a day. And yeah, not good for you. Even though they're like, oh, but if you take the ingredients that are in the whites and other, a few of the other monsters out there, it's good for you. No, it's not. No energy drink is good for you in reality. I mean, even this one isn't great for you, but it's a lot better than the other ones. And can't forget the ready to drink Dunkin' and Star. I wouldn't know. I don't drink those. I'm not a coffee drinker, so never have been. My grandparents and my parents tried to get me to become one, but it didn't stick. Just like tea, I can't stand the taste of tea. Um, Now, that being said, this has green tea in it, but you can't taste the tea. Um, there's that aftertaste of just your regular tea. It's just gross. But this, like I said, this has green tea in it. So it's just like you drink your green tea before you go work out. Are you working out this morning, or is this your off day? Because when I work out, we work out 5 days a week and have 2 days off. I hate tea. I hate it. My parents used to do the whole Lipton sun tea, and it's like I would taste that stuff, and it's just like, this is gross. I don't even see how you guys even drink this stuff. But you don't taste the tea in that at all, so I'm cool with that. Um, and it's not like they put a ton of tea in there anyway. Matcha, your matcha. Yeah, the Dunkin' Donuts does a matcha, a couple of different matcha drinks. in their new line, and the girlfriend likes those. Oh God, she she made me drink this one. She not made me. She was like, "Here, taste this. It tastes so good." So I take a drink of it, and I was that was gross. That was nasty. I mean, I couldn't even wash the taste out with my refresher that I was drinking, but it was so gross. It was nasty. I'm very picky with what I drink and eat. No artificial dyes or flavors, and that's good, you know. And it's very hard to find something that doesn't have artificial dyes in it, which is sad. That's why I am glad that they are making that turnaround, because Skittles, M&Ms, and one other candy is getting ready to be released without all the dyes. So yes, Evil Red 40 that causes all the C word, and not that C word from the 2020s. You know, the other C word that's been around a lot longer than the other C word. Not the C vid, but the other one. You know, cancer is what I'm talking about, folks. So like I said, I did get a commission off of a nice little yellow five, blue one. Yeah, absolutely. And I am glad. I mean, I watch the TikTok videos on here where the foreigners come to America and start getting foods from the grocery store and stuff like that, and they're like, "What is all this stuff?" You know, because they're like, our ingredients are like 3 to 5 ingredients tops. Most of your ingredients that you have in all of your stuff isn't even real ingredients. It's made out of fake stuff, you know. And, and then they're like, "What is this color?" You know, our drink is not this color in our country, you know, or our food base doesn't look like this, you know, or the portion sizes. That's what gets a lot of them is the portion sizes. It's like they're like, you could feed an entire family off of what you're getting here on this plate, um, from what we get in our country, you know. And then we talk about the obesity rate here in the United States. Well, me being in the military, you being in the military, ex-military veteran, military is military no matter what. You know, at 6'2", I'm supposed to be 200 pounds, which makes me look like a fucking patient in a ward somewhere, because 200 pounds at 6'2", hardly possible. Yes, it can be done. I've seen it. The closest I got was 218 pounds in basic training. I sit right around 230 pounds, closer to 240 most of the time. And that's even while working out. I'm in the middle of just judging. You're kind of short. And I'm not meaning that in a mean way. It just doesn't look like your height challenged. If you see 5'5" and 3/4, see, you got to throw that 3/4 in there. At least you're not Prince height. You know, at 4'11", you're getting close. My mother used to be 5'5". Now she's like 5'2" or something like that, or 5 foot straight up, since she's gotten older. So that's what you. Your pocket size, Liz. Your pocket size is what you are. Or what is it? The fun size candy bar. That's what you are. Your fun size. Oh, great minds, great minds. Um, uh, Skit, if you will. I'm pretty sure I posted it here and I posted it on Facebook, but it was about 4th of July, 1776, and all that good stuff. And at the end, I said, "Buy bonds and buy my artwork." And I used my cards here as a reference. And I said, "Now, don't buy these, but you can if you want." And I got a commission out of it, so that was pretty awesome. It's going to go on the Bloodstained Teeth, but it's going to be a Predator. And yes, I was around in 1776. Thank you. And it's going to be a Predator. It's not, I'm going to cover up the Bloodstained Teeth logo and all that stuff, but It's going to be a predator watching Arnold and his crew come in through the jungle. You know, he's going to be here or here, and they're going to be coming in their helicopters. They're going to be above the canopy of the trees, and you're going to be seeing him, you know, looking at them. So that's going to be a cool one. I've got a lot of stuff that's happening. I'm almost done with my teardown project, which I've been talking about for a little bit, and that's probably why I'm so fucking exhausted, is because I know I'm coming to the end of the project of tearing down the 4 buildings. This last building has been a chore because it was 74 foot long by, I want to say it was probably about 12 foot at the peak, and then 22 to 24 foot wide, if I had to guess. And if you saw the video out there, which I did post, of me pulling down the last portion of it and it just going down like a house of dominoes, it was pretty cool. If you haven't watched that video, go check it out. It's out there. That was another video I posted, plus my my wood video that I posted as well. That was kind of fun. Got a lot of good responses off of all those videos so far. But I'm getting close to the end of that. I'm going today to pick up another load of wood to bring back to the house, and then I've got some errands to run, so I'm only going to be doing one load today, which I think I've got either 2 or 3 loads left. I'm not even going to touch that, Liz. No, not even going there. But good one, good one, good one. Oh, I don't. I let somebody else. Um, but anyway, but don't bumps. Um, I've got 3 huge lumber stacks out there. So I know you had to. It's all good. It's a military thing. I get it 100%. Um, and we always crack jokes about stuff like that too. So don't ever just let it go. I mean, bring it on. Don't ever just be like, no, I can't say that. No, say whatever the fuck you want. Military to military, don't care. Um, so I've got 3 large stacks out there, plus probably, if I had to guess, probably about 3 grand in tin that I've brought back so far, and I still have pieces to bring back of tin as well. But everything's going to get reused, repurposed. Like most of the tins going back on the roof. I collect firewood for the winter. So do we. We have a fireplace. We have a wood burning stove. Um, so we use firewood like crazy, and that's what I'm stocking up on right now. Now the wood that I brought back is not my firewood. That is all going to get repurposed for building projects, um, all kinds of cool stuff. So I'm looking forward to all that once I get to it. Um, no, there's certain woods you're not supposed to burn, especially the treated stuff, and they say not to burn pallets because they've been treated with a chemical as well that can be harmful to you, the person, unless you've got your gas mask on or your mop suit. You know, put all that on, then you can burn that wood. Uh, so, well, it just depends on the pallet because some pallets aren't treated, and for whatever reason, they just didn't want to. But a lot of the pallets are treated, you know, treated wood. Um, so you're not supposed to use certain pallets for the most part. But people burn pallets on a regular basis anyway. So I think it's just for your safety more than anything else because you know I sometimes do a brush fire and just put trash and wood. Yeah, that's fine. We do that here because when we clean up the property, like whenever I'm cutting trees down and stuff like that off the property, I will put them into a pile and just drink or yeah, well you can drink it too. Um, soda. They say baking soda can counteract cancer gene if you're prone to it, or if it runs in your family. Uh, so you can go that route. You can drink some baking soda, and there's specific things that you can do with baking soda that supposedly will help you not get cancer. So, you know, those type things. Don't forget, we got these little guys. We're getting ready to talk about these right here. Let me get a little bit farther over right there. That's my Joker painting. That's a very popular T-shirt. And then, of course, Ozman. This is actually the print. The actual real one is down here, but I do have two of these prints available. Since we've already got the restriction for me apparently telling you to go get crystals out there. Yes, Ozzy Osbourne. I've got two different paintings of Ozzy Osbourne that are up for grabs. So you got the one that you're seeing back there right now, right here. And then, boom, 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 this one right here. His famous tattoos. But both of those are up for grabs. Again, you get a discount, Liz, on anything that you would purchase. And then my other popular one that I'm surprised I still have is Mr. Chester Bennington. Both artists are gone. And this one has become a popular print and t-shirt as well. But I'm surprised I still own the originals, to be honest, 100%. And then let's go with our Naughty Nuns. Let me pull this out real fast. Ugh. That's a joke, folks. But we're going to start with my very first Naughty Nun right here. And as you see, black light. Lights are up. You can still see it, but you can still see in black light. It looks really cool as well. But this was my first Naughty Nun right here. This one is number 2. I'm going to put it back here a little bit so you can see a little bit more of the iridescence that's happening. She does have a ball gag, folks. She does have a ball gag. But as you can see, that goes away right there. You can still see it, but you can see it a lot clearer with the black light. And then number 3 in the Naughty Nun series right here. Again, you get to see the iridescence happening right there on the Naughty Nun. I haven't done a whole lot of celebrities. I mean, I do celebrities on a regular basis. Depends on if anybody asks. You're going to put that in your red room? Sweet. I'm glad you've got a red room. But again, 2 prints of that one right there. Boom, boom, boom. And it is on the thicker stuff. So it's not like it's a cheap print that you just throw on your wall that has the thin, like half-inch to quarter-inch look to it. We do have some unfinished pieces that are going to be painted up. Mr. John Wayne, the Duke, Rooster Cogburn right there. Fill your hands, you sons of bitches. That's a pretty bold top for a one-eyed fat man. Mr. John Wayne. Magic here from X-Men. The preliminary pencils that will be done up as a... I'm going to do this one in Patrick Nagel style, one of my favorite artists ever, as far as commercial art goes. If you've never seen Patrick Nagel's work, I don't have the piece in here. I do have a piece in here. I just don't know where it's at the moment. I think it's around the corner. But then another one that's going to be done up in Patrick Nagel style. Yes, he was famous for drawing women, and the women would be, all of his images would be in Playboy. So there you go. And then what do we got? One new message. What did I miss? My girlfriend would love those. Well, there's your Christmas idea or birthday ideas. That one's a blank one. That one's in process of getting fixed because it did have some damage to it. And then, of course, you guys have seen Dexter. Bum, bum, bum. So if you know any Dexter fans, tell them to come buy the shit. It needs to go. It needs to go away. Now my girlfriend is a big Dexter fan. This is one of my prints from my Job 3 cover. It's on a comic book series right there. Yeah, I haven't done Hannibal yet, but he's going to be in my new horror series that I'm working on. Of course, again, right here. Let's do this. I'm gonna put you guys in the dark for a second. How about that? That makes it a little bit better. Get rid of that. Get rid of that. Oh my gosh, we're in the dark. And then, dun, 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 then you get to see what this really does under black light. Take that away, and dun dun dun. There you go. You can see how. I don't know why you're scared. Who do we got next? Ah, Mr. Beetlejuice. Mr. Beetlegeist. Boom. There you go. You get you some Beetlegeist. Actually, it's Beetlejuice, but you know. Beetlejuice. Okay, nothing happened. Good. And then. Dun, that right there. Set up a little bit higher. This goes with the Beetlejuice because they're a side by side companion of Mr. Michael Keaton right there. As his famous, you see his eyeball glows right there. And we'll go back to normal lights just because. No, turn it back off. Turn it back off. Patrick Bateman. Right there. I'm sure you've seen the movie. And here's the painting of that Job 3 cover. Let there be light. And then these were two PTSD mental health awareness things, and I'm probably going to get a restriction for that as well. That I did for a show that I was at with a friend of mine who was talking about this. She is a good advocate. She's a police officer, and she also talks about, you know, and military as well. And she talks about the whole awareness. So this is one of them. This is called chaos, what goes on in a person's brain. And then this one is anger. And it gives all of the why someone can be angry effects in there. So those were a couple of the ones that I did for that show specifically. And that's just a small handful of the paintings that I've got available, plus the ones that aren't finished yet. But again, Liz, if you are interested in any of those, let me know. Birthdays, Christmas, all that good stuff. Because again, you get a discount. A 20% discount is what military gets. Veterans, military, those type of things. Or if you want to commission something specific, let me know. Bum, bum, bum. So, what did you do for the 4th of July? Did you work or were you off? Since you're my number one contributor here today, which is awesome, I don't mind. You're an awesome person. You're a young, awesome person. That's height challenged as well. But anyway, you were off. Well, that's cool. At least you got the day off for it. I was sore from my workout. I get that. Um, I've been sore from this workout, lifting all these logs and tin and using pry bars and sledgehammers and my entire body to knock buildings down. So nice, nice for working out. So you work out with your weights on? I mean, that's just a question because I know some people do. Some people do wear those vests or leg weights and things like that, and their wrist weights and all that good stuff to work out with. That's cool. That's cool. Why don't you just wear your IBAS? I know it's a lot more. I don't know it's a lot heavier with the sappy plates in there, but cool. That's awesome. That's awesome. Congratulations. Most people don't, because I only know a handful of people that will wear a vest at the gym that has the plates in it and stuff like that. But um, but yeah, doing push-ups with your full battle rattle on is a workout in and of itself. Because what do those things weigh now? Because when I was in back in the day in 1776, they were it was 80 pounds total for the vest with the plates front and back. Have they made any improvements on those sappy plates, or are they still those Kevlar ceramic? Yes, I was definitely carrying it around in the Revolutionary War. Yes, 100%. Hold on, let me pull out my wooden teeth. Hold on. Don't let me get a splinter. But oh my lord. But yeah, no, the those things used to be about 80 pounds. I'm not sure. They're a nasty green color. Yeah, yeah, 100%. Those sappy plates. Yeah. Oh, the teeth. No, the teeth are good. See, they're all good veneer. I broke out some white paint and put some polish on them every now and again. You know, just keep them white. Ah, but no. But yeah, that was a cool thing because I made some money coming back from FTX Road March on that. So I had three other people's plates in my backpack, in my rucksack, plus the plates I was wearing. So I was loaded down. I was hating life, but I was making some money. So there's always ways to make money in the military, especially at basic training. How people would sneak in tobacco and things like that. Well, good. Congratulations on that. That is a rough one, 26 miles with 100 pounds, you know. So that's because your rucksack had to be a certain weight, you know, because you had to have X amount of stuff inside of it. So, you know, that's what makes it sucky because you're like me. I was already at weight, but then I added two sets and then one. So a full set of two full sets of sappy plates plus a third that was a half of a sappy plate plus what I was wearing already plus what was in the rucksack, and then we had the road march on the way back. So yeah, that was rough to say the least. And to talk about collapsing at the end of the ruck march, yeah, 100%. Because I was just happy I wasn't carrying that weight anymore. And people just didn't understand, you know, why I collapsed down. But having to readjust that strap on a regular basis, all that good stuff, it did suck, 100%. So, what was your favorite part about the ruck march on the way back from basic training, from your FTX? Just do a lot of good squats, you'll be all right. A lot of good squats. I'm getting back up to that 300-pound bench press again. Getting close. I think I did two something the other day. It's been a hot minute since I've been to the gym as well because I've been doing all these projects. So I got to get back. Not to mention when I broke my knuckles because of my, the brittle bones, as you like to say. My favorite part was 30-second shot. Yeah, absolutely. All right, get in, get out, get in, get out, and semi cold water at that point, which would have been fine because hot and sweaty from the march. So yeah, 100%. I get that. I get that 100%. We are still in the popular live category with 2,000 likes, which is shy of what we normally have, but that's okay. We don't have our normal regulars up in here. They're sleeping or something. I don't know whatever they're doing. It's good times. It's all good. I was in the shower with another woman. I can't. There you go. See, it's better than me. I was in there with dudes. So swinging wood, if you will. But no, I get it. 100%. I would rather have been in that shower too, but never did. Never did. Why soap on a rope? Oh gosh. Golly gosh darn it. Man, woman, child. No child. No child. Oh, but anyway, yeah, no. Being in the military is a completely different animal because what we refer to in the men's shower is the suckiest design in the fucking world. And I don't know if they still have them where you're at or not, but it was the stripper pole. You got all these little shower heads side by side next to each other. So you're basically shoulder to shoulder showering with a dude, you know. Um, Not the greatest feeling. So you always try to if there was only so many people in there, you tried to be every other one, kind of like when you go to the urinal, you know. You try to be every other one so that you're not like, hoping that dude isn't like looking over the wall at you or unless you just got the open trough, all that good stuff. So, but yeah, that's just the oddest feeling in the world for the most part is that stripper pole. So, yeah. I don't miss that. Being out of the military, I don't miss that. There are certain things I miss. That is not one of them. 100%. Just odd. Just odd. Like I said, I don't know if they still have that or not at certain bases and things like that. Um, but I know definitely certain ones they had that at, and it was just like, yeah, no, I'm good. I'm good. Yeah, I'm still taking my shower, but I'm good. I think I've seen that here. Well, good. I mean, now again, you might enjoy that um, if you did have that, but no, it was only at certain bases um, and certain places because I think in my 6 years I saw maybe five that were like that. The rest of them had your individual shower spots and things like that. So see, there you go, 100%. And I the same thing. My girlfriend gave me a show at home too. You know, so not yours. You can keep yours. But mine can't here. So, and I'm glad you are able to get that show, 100%. Because some people don't get that show. Some people don't like to shower with each other for whatever reason. Save water. Come on, wash each other's back. You know, fronts, backs, sides, all that good stuff. Wash each other's hair. Save that shower water. It is 100%. Absolutely, I agree with you on that note. All right, Liz, it looks like you need to get with me with what you want when it comes to artwork because apparently I've got a lot that needs to go to your place of residence. So, but that is it for today, folks. I do appreciate each and everybody stopping in, checking out the channel, listening to us banter about military stuff, about crystals, about artwork, about new commissions coming in. And yeah, I've got some pigs to take care of. I can hear them getting restless in the next room. And when two pigs get restless in the next room, things tend to get flipped over sometimes. So, but you can still chat me up. It's all good. I have no issues with that. But yeah, unfortunately, I do have to go take care of them as well. And don't be sad. Don't be sad because we'll chat again. And you are becoming one of the favorites here, on the show. So you are awesome, 100%. And don't let anybody tell you different. And if they do, give them a nice little throat punch. A little karate chop. Yeah. Right there in the throat. Right there. And if they got an Adam's apple, you know. Well, I appreciate it. I appreciate it. And today I feel old just because, it's like I said, I know this building project is coming to an end, and I've got some more that I'm getting ready to do because I just got potentially commissioned for another one. And no, I'm not old. I'm only as old as I feel. And most of the days I feel your age, you know, because I'm energetic, outgoing, getting things done, moving around a lot. And then there's other days it's just like, good God. Good God, man. My 1776 is catching up with me. You are a pup, 100%. You are like on the very end spectrum of people that actually communicate um, with us older generation, especially the military style. Yes, I am a founding father, 100%. Um, and my girls are even older than you are, so and that's both of them. Uh, so there you go, founding grandfather. How about great great grandfather? How about we just go there? How about great 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 grandfather? For you, um, jackass. We love you, Liz. It's all good. It's all good. I can still outwork a lot of them. Founding Unk. Yep, that's what my nephew calls me too. Is Unk. So, and he is in the Air Force, so he's doing a lot of great things over there. So he gets to do a lot of cool stuff with the Air Force. Been on a few deployments, lived in a few countries. Well, I would have to say not for him. He doesn't do the whole chair force as much because he does the search and rescue. He does dive team. He does all of the uh, halo jumps. He does. I mean, he's very very active for what he does. So my cousin was chair force, 100%, and even got medically discharged with carpal tunnel. So I give him shit about that on a regular basis. Uh, yep, halo jumps, absolutely 100%. Uh, so he does all kinds of cool stuff on a regular basis. He's even a trainer as well, training them young troops, stuff like that. He's a young kid himself. He's in his 30s, but yeah. So he's old to you too. Yeah, he does a lot of cool stuff. I can't give him too much shit, for being in the Air Force. And so, like I can my cousin, because like I said, he got medically discharged with a carpal tunnel injury. So, I'm sorry to laugh at my cousin, but yes, carpal tunnel. Yeah, absolutely, 100%. It was quite humorous to me. I mean, to find out that he got discharged with that, I was like, you fucking paper pusher. Signing a lot of general signatures, are you? Oh, Lordy. But all right, Liz, thank you for being here chatting with me with your great 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 grandfather. Um Here on the 1776 channel of 412 Productions. Um Again, 1776 in August is when the actual birthday of America is. So, yes, we did celebrate the 4th of July yesterday. Yes, we did. You know, you're an ass. Um, but we love you anyway, Liz. We love you anyway. So just remember, in August is when the true celebration happens for the founding of America. America. Well, they say that's when it is, but again, we did celebrate 4th of July. Hopefully, everybody did keep their fingers, toes, no rockets in the rectum, um, sending you on a all that good stuff. Yes, I said I did. I was on the Santa Maria, you know, and coming down Lake Pontchartrain and jumping on that Plymouth Rock with my guitar and drum set, and don't forget the harmonica too. And it was an electric guitar back then in 1776. So, and well, that's awesome. Have you been to the Plymouth Rock? Have you touched the Plymouth Rock? Well, cool. As long as you didn't lick the Plymouth Rock, you're good. Good. Because there's been a lot of bums that have sat on that. And I'm not talking about like bums. I'm talking about like asses. I see what you did there. Good call. Good call. And that's munch, you know. But I guess it is in there too. It just reminds me of South Park when Hartman is telling his mom that Kitty's being a dildo again, and she's like, "Well, guess who's sleeping with mommy tonight?" Liz, you're awesome. Thanks for being here and putting up with our antics and your antics as well. You're you're a cool kid. You're a cool kid for a youngster and a great 5,000 times granddaughter at this point in time. But that's it. I got to go let these pigs out before they tear up my kitchen area. But I appreciate each and every one of you guys. I love you guys. Don't forget to tell somebody that you love them on a regular basis because tomorrow is not promised to us at all. Again, if you do have issues where you don't want to be above soil um, and you want to talk, 988, text that number, or call 1-800-273-8255, or hit me up in the DMs and we will talk. And don't forget, if you're going to start a fight with somebody, do it this way. And if you know, you know. It was the stupidest thing I've ever seen in my life. You all have a great day. And as I like to say, we will catch you on the flip side. Have a good day, everybody.